Okay, you remember how cheap and unsatisfying the new Ultra Deluxe content turned out to be? Well, it got me thinking about the past and how much better the Stanley Parable used to be. So I made something special and tucked it away here where the game's developers won't find it. Just our little secret. Take a look.
Yeah. A lot of people know me for my diatribes. It is a feature. At least that's what the marketers will say. Let's see. So beautiful. You know, and I decided to go down this path. I could have just kept playing the same Stanley Parable. And I'm gonna upload a video from, I think, a year ago, there and about. It came out March 22. 20, I don't fucking even remember, man. Um, and I remember after speaking to who I presume was employee 432 through a forgotten computer monitor and yet another beta iteration that was the same as all the other pictures, tells me that the achievement that is upcoming in this sequence from a machine was actually gettable. And I immediately got afraid that if it was based upon that achievement I got in the previous game, that something bad was going to happen. But I actually think what happened was amazing. I think a lot of people claim that, when you fall down in this game, it's just the game glitching or failing. And I think that, again, is a failed interpretation of what happens in the Stanley Parable, right? Like, because it has dropped me into places like below the mind control facility when I entered Oblivion. And believe you me, I did. I don't know about the rest of you guys, but it was absolutely intentional. All of that. There were things you can see only in there, and more literary analysis to provide now that it gave you that new perspective, right? It's even better that I myself am not breaking the game to do this, right? It is actually something that is happening honestly. It As I interrogate the game, it lets me. And I think it's glorious. So cool. Let's let our friend have a turn.
I call it the memory zone. It's where I've been storing all my favorite memories so I can relive the peak experiences of my life whenever I want. Experiences like the launch of the Stanley Parable on PC.
You just gotta know how meta it is for me, you know? Um, so parabolic, that's the wrong word. Parable. Like, it's like it's telling my own story back to me. I remember when I went into the, if I fell out the window, and I got so into this idea. I was literally, I had like 5 memories stacked up in front of me, and I was like looking through all of them at the same time, I don't know how to put, but like they were all overlaid on top of each other, superimposed, and that I could see them all, like every single one of them. And it is my memory zone. Like it's some of my very favorite memories.
You see, Stanley, doesn't the memory zone remind you of how wonderful Stanley Parable was before it was sullied with a cheap re-release? Remember back in October of 2013, when the game originally launched? Back then, video games had integrity. Back then, it all meant something. Oh, the waste.
and I am not upset to re-release these. Warning may contain information. It's okay. That's the joke. Yep. Sounds familiar. I haven't.
And over here is where I keep reviews of the Stanley Parable. Like this stunning triumph of games journalism. 10 out of 10 from Destructoid.com. James Stephanie Sterling writes, and I quote, "Where so many games that aspire to be more than games end up less than..." This is the story of a man named Stanley.
So much better. And this is what I learned. To listen. And better yet, to kind of look back. So I like to turn the left. I always thought it's funny to turn the left sounds like bringing people back from the dead, like they were left. You gotta turn them. Alright, just a part of my little craziness. Yep, and I truly do believe it is a combination. I truly do believe it's a combination. I wonder how many other places that rotating like this can make stuff happen. Like, I know my Petscop fans are probably pretty impressed at this because I always thought it was funny. Like, I picked Dal Segno as a name long before Petscop as a series ever existed. And again, in Italian, it means return to the sign. There was eventually a video released in Petscop where they had, it's pretty much just, it occurs that there's an NPC, I forget which character it was exactly, but they were running around a sign over and over again, left, right, and somebody ultimately realized that it was perfectly synced up to the song, I Saw the Sign. It opened up my eyes, I saw the sign. And I, in my crazy brain, I always wondered if Tony, like, saw that I saw something, like, referenced it to my Reddit account. I don't know. I see so many people that I had huge, deep discussions with just on Reddit alone have deleted their accounts, unfortunately, and I wish I can go dive back into that. I am that nosy as a person, and you know, knowledge is not forbidden. It's okay to dive in. And by the way, my Reddit account is always open. Like Davey Reedon himself, like I have myself following his account from like over 12 years ago. It was, he had it before he released his first iteration of Stanley Parable. I love having this reference point. There's another one, what is it? Oh, I think it's Donkey's Let's Play of Super Mario 64. I think I got that in my liked videos actually in this YouTube. And just like keep it on the DL. He unlisted a lot of them, and I don't really know why. But ultimately, it showcases Donkey being just trying to go forward, right? He's like super depressed. He's like super depressed. And it's so apparent how fucking sad and I think it was after Microsoft dicked them over. They're run by ants anyways, but like ultimately he is like cringingly asking like, "Hey, any ladies wanna get up with me?" And it's almost like not shameful or anything, like, it found him Leah, but ultimately he did find Leah, and it was like the last episode, if I recall. It was like the last one of it, and he immediately seems just like so much happier, like brilliantly so much happier. And I think it's when he kind of fell out of the LOL content, moved into like bigger and better stuff, more variety. Really figured out his audience as always. Good creators do that. And so I really love this idea of an honest and open interpretation of like a creator. You might find from my previous videos that I am not the most humble guy, and I'm trying to own up to this. But I think also my egocentrism and my love of myself truly does extend to like so many others, and that might even include everybody. It depends on who I'm enabled to know and who lets me know them. And that's like, it's just so important to me. Like, let me in, let me in, let me in, let me in. More, more, more. And I'm not gonna do anything bad with that. I hope I've proven myself with that. I like turning people's heads at windmills, though. It's just too much fun. It's part of pressing people's buttons. But, let me get back in here. Yeah. Oh, look familiar?